Fit in 10 Nation, it is day 44 of the Fit in 10 challenge, and took a few people to Costco this morning, and we got there right at 9, right when they opened. There was like nobody. I got VIP parking, and about, I don't know what, half an hour in, it was a zoo. It was crazy. So anyways, we managed to go through a lot of food. We were there for about, I think we were there for 2 hours. A little over 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and still, you know, there's so much we didn't really cover. There's so many foods in there that I didn't go over, even foods that, you know, you could have in your diet. But one that we did see, and one that I wanted to get, and I meant to get last time, and somebody mentioned to me about this, about these bars. Let's go and try to get that glare off. So these are Kirkland. These are basically Costco's version of Quest bars. Costco's version of Quest bars, and they are surprisingly cheap. And it almost baffles me when I look at the ingredients and I look at what you get, how cheap they are. So these are a great bar. My only complaint, but I did buy them, so they're obviously good enough. My only complaint about them is that they have erythritol in there. That's about it, okay? And that's just a sugar alcohol. There's probably not too much in here, though, just enough to give it a bit of sweetness. They also have stevia extract in here, which is great to see. That's a natural sweetener. But everything else in here is great. Like, it's basically almost a carbon copy of Quest bars. You basically got milk and whey protein isolate, which is basically the highest quality protein you can get. There's inulin, which is a fiber. There's cashews. There's water. There's unsweetened chocolate. There's erythritol, which I just told you about. There's cocoa butter, which is fine. Natural flavors, sea salt, sunflower lecithin, stevia extract. That's it. These are awesome bars. They are low carb. There is a net amount of carbs in here is about 5 net grams of carbs, okay? So your carbs are gonna lower. This is gonna be another treat that you guys can throw in. This is chocolate chip cookie dough. I have not tried these yet. The other flavor that comes in this box is chocolate brownie. I suspect though, if they're like Quest bars, they're gonna taste a little bit fake, okay? So they're not gonna be as good as the FitStars bars. FitStar bars are better than these. They are more natural and they're more balanced. But you guys can certainly have this. They probably won't taste as good. They probably won't taste bad. I don't mind them. Well, I mean, I don't mind Quest bars. I'm assuming these are going to taste very similar. But probably the coolest thing about these bars is they are cheap, man. Like this box, 20 bars was $24. So Quest bars, if you buy them in the store, they're three. If you buy a box, it's about $3 a bar. So, anyways, try them. Well, maybe I'll try them. I'll let you know, okay? All right, this person says, I tried to stay close to my macros, but I feel like I need more protein. This person needs more protein. Okay. The protein's already super high, obviously, but you know, you get used to the protein. I'm going over on those macros. She's going over on her protein. If there's any macro to go over on, it's going to be your protein. It's the hardest one to convert to fat. So can we try higher protein, less carbs, and see what happens? All right, let me take a look at your numbers, and well, you'll find out tonight, okay? Because I am going to send you guys your new numbers tonight, by the way. In your videos, can you explain / describe the reverse diet process? That is so important after a period of restrictive dieting. I had a hard time believing in this process during my first challenge, but now I am so grateful for those extra calories I was able to consume without gaining weight. I now trust the process. Okay, so this is really important. So this person did our first challenge. She did exceptionally well, like crazy good. She was one of our winners. I don't want to give this person away. And then she did the next challenge, and of course I reverse dieted her. So basically what that means is I actually brought her calories up. Now during those 10 weeks, I brought her calories back up. I increased her carbohydrates. She still lost fat, and she gained some more muscle. And you can get away with this when you reverse diet. And this is, you know, so I remind you guys that there is a bigger process at hand here. There's this long-term thing that I have in my mind for you, beyond just, okay, let's try to lose weight in 10 weeks, okay? So this is the hard thing for people to accept, and because I'm trying to make this more lifestyle. And before I dive in a little bit further into reverse dieting, and I'm gonna try to be as succinct as this is possible, you know, if I could describe the whole dieting process for you for like the rest of your life, it would be this slow undulating wave of sort of lowering your calories a bit and increasing your calories, and lowering your calories a bit and increasing your calories. But over time, you'd be slightly increasing the calories more and more and more and more and more and more. Okay? And this is purely, I'm not talking about health here, although I don't really think it's that unhealthy. I would classify it as unhealthy. You know, and now we're just opening up another can of worms. I mean, health can be described in so many ways. But I'll get to what I'm speaking about in a second here. This is purely for maximizing body composition, okay? When I talk about health, you know, like, you know, fasting is probably, you know, in terms of like longevity, you know, not being strong, not necessarily the best quality of life, not necessarily the best. I mean, there's so many ways to describe health. It's really hard to say. So, but in terms of like living long, you know, and putting as little stress on your organs as possible, fasting would be the best way to go, in my opinion. From what I've seen and what I know, fasting would be the best way to go. But I don't think people want to live their whole life fasting. I think some people it works for it, but, you know. Anyways, I digress. So, how does the dieting process work, the reverse dieting process work? Well, what happens is, you know, as we're going through this challenge, I'm basically, I'm slowly lowering your calories through time, and I'm also lowering your carbohydrates and your fats slightly, more so your carbohydrates. And then when this challenge ends, if you did it again, I would actually do, you know, the reverse of that. So I would slowly add more and more food in, unless it's not working for the person. This doesn't work for everybody. This should work well for you if you were like on board in the first time you did the challenge, and you stuck to everything and you did it like perfect. Then it works to reverse diet. It doesn't really work. Reverse dieting is not really going to work if you didn't really follow it, because, you know, we're only reversing a diet that was put in place perfectly. If you didn't follow what was, you know, set initially, then you didn't, you know, there's nothing to reverse, right? Does that make sense? So we are reversing, essentially, it's exactly as the name implies, we are reversing exactly what we did, so maybe just a little bit slower. And we may not get back to those original set calories. So basically what it is let's just say, for instance, you started at 1,800 calories, you ended at, I don't know, 1,550, okay? What we would do is, when we would reverse diet you, we start at 1,550, and then we would slowly bring you up, okay? So at the end of 10 weeks, yeah, you might be at 1,700 calories. And then maybe at the end of 20 weeks, you might be at, you know, 1,800 calories or something. Something like that. Okay? I'm obviously not going to tell you like the exact system that I would use, but in a nutshell, that's what we do. It's basically just lowering of carbohydrates and calories, essentially. It's maybe some fats. And then we add back those fats and carbohydrates as you reverse diet very slowly. It's a very stepwise, slow fashion, like, you know, 3% change every few weeks or so. Okay, that's reverse dieting. That's essentially what it is. Okay, it's not any more complicated than that. All right, and the great thing about it is you make these small changes, and you just see what happens. You make a small little change, so nothing drastic is going to happen because you're only making a small little change. So you make that small change, you see what happens, and then you say, okay, yeah, okay, everything seems to be okay. I like the way things are looking. I do my body fat scan. Things are looking good. Okay, good. Let's increase it a bit more. Let's just keep pushing things a little bit more and see what happens. See what happens. All right. This only works so if you're following the system to a T. Okay. And I'm not beating up on any of you who are having having a hard time doing it. I'm just simply stating that, you know, that's who it works for. Okay. For for some of you, it's going to be a longer process diving in and learning or being, very tight with the system. That's okay too, okay? It's a process. I hope I answered the question there, right? It's just, like I'll say it again, we lower your calories, carbohydrates, lower your calories by basically lowering your carbohydrates and your fats. We usually keep protein about the same. And then we reverse out of that. We usually, depending on the person, maybe spend a little bit extra time reversing out of that, okay? Just doing the reverse of what we did in the first 10 weeks. I had a hard time believing, I already read that. Okay, so, all right, I'm over 10 minutes here. So, let's get to message of the day. Oh, by the way, today's the last day of the early bird. Last day of the early bird, you guys. So $100 instantly off for the next challenge. So, if you want to do the next challenge, you better tell me very soon, because it technically ends tomorrow morning. All right? So, let me know. And the message of the day is exactly what we talked about. I want you to understand that this is a process. That's the message of the day. This is a process. So you can't necessarily expect that, a direct return on what you're doing, okay? Now, if you're following everything to a T, you can expect a pretty good return over 10 weeks. So, but there's a bigger process at hand here. I mean, I could do a lot more for you in 10 weeks than what I'm doing. I could do something way more drastic, but it wouldn't really be in your favor for long term. Okay? And it would be harder for you to do. So I'm always thinking long term. And of course, with that being said, to explain it better, it's a long-term process, right? It is this process. So, what you might think doesn't make sense to you in the moment because you think you could get more benefit doing something different, getting more benefit right away, that may be true. But you have to think of this as a process over the long term and thinking about, the best case scenario for you going for the rest of your life. Unless, of course, you just want to reach a number on the scale for a certain date and then you don't care after that. That's different. But I don't believe anybody's in this for that, okay? So trust the process. It's a process. Remember it's a process, and it takes time, okay? All right, you guys, submit, commit, do everything that I've told you to do. I just meal prepped today, by the way. I did broccoli, I did salmon, I did some beef, and of course I shopped at Costco. Okay? All right. Have a wonderful evening. I'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. we have a Fit in 10 class, right? A training class. All right, so hopefully I will see you all there. And numbers are coming tonight. New numbers are coming tonight. And I'll send you out a Calendly link for the fat scans, which will happen next week, okay? All right, we'll talk to you all soon. See you guys.